Hello, my friends. This is Brian, the speaker for the dead. I am coming to you today with a new video because of Women's History Month. Yeah, that's right. The month that we celebrate not having a penis. Your misogyny and transphobia and all of that stuff is so unbelievably tragic. We should just round you up and people like you and just put you on an island somewhere with crocodiles. Isn't it great? Man, why should we celebrate men? We should just celebrate women. We should exclude groups to be celebrated on every month that is a protected special group, equals 50% of the population or more. Why should we treat everybody equally, right? Because equality isn't about equal treatment. It's about special treatment, right? It's about what you're not as opposed to what you are. I really wanted to come on today with a vagina hat, like what we saw 4.5 years ago when Donald Trump got elected and they marched through the streets with vagina hats on their head. That was special. Anyway, so I have a lot of different things that I want to talk about on this video today. And to start off, we're going to do with Women's History Month, if you couldn't tell. Women's History Month. The time when we blow smoke up women's butts to make them think that they're more special than everybody else. When I say everybody else, I mean men. Because that's all there is. There's women and there's men. There's not anything else. What did you say? Just in case you were curious, there is not other genders. There's two. Still, always, forever, two. Anyway, I have the same problem with this that I have with Black History Month, and these months where Congress has decided to pick favorites amongst a particular group and single them out for special treatment, like everybody else disappears in history for that month. And this isn't about being excluded. I don't care. I really don't want a man's history month, because history is about men and women and the struggle and everything. So to draw attention to just one and not the other is retarded, because, see, there I go, being a male, cisgender, whatever it is I'm supposed to be. That's so horrible. By using derogatory words, because words hurt just like violence and blows. You shut your damn mouth! So I'd like to test that. People who say stupid, idiotic stuff like that, I'll tell you what. You stand there and yell at me the worst words you can think of, and I'm going to take a baseball bat and hit you in the face with it. Which one do you think hurts more? It's the bat. No, words are not violence, and silence is not violence, and all of these other stupid phrases that people come up with for, being a victim. Just how about trying not to be a victim? Huh? Yeah? Crazy, right? How about just everybody being happy for everybody? How about we not celebrate people who hate men? How about we celebrate Rosie the Riveter alongside with Martin Luther King and alongside with the pilots that flew the airplanes, the Tuskegee Airmen, and the truth about what that was. Why don't we celebrate or at least remember history as history? All of it together. Wouldn't that be great? If we didn't call attention to this group or that group or single out special people and by very definition castigate other people's contributions to history. Because you know what? The one thing I love about men and being a man is that I don't feel the need to call out a month for me, because every day is my day. Every day is a true history day for me. I don't have to have special ones, to make me feel all better and stuff like that, because I just know that, yeah, I understand that it's just history. I mean, I celebrate Madame Curie right alongside with Louis Pasteur. I celebrate all of the historical figures, good and bad. Maybe not celebrate the bad ones as much as recognize them for what they were. And try not to repeat their mistakes. Something that we could actually get behind. Why don't we have a Villains of History Month so that we don't repeat that? See, but there again, you're leaving out the good guys. See, you just don't make special months for special things. Cancer Awareness Month, that I can understand. That I can get behind, because that's about trying to end a disease. That's about trying to support people who have a problem that they never asked for, that they just got because of genetics, condition, environment, or whatever. So, I mean, why don't we dedicate months to helping people instead of dedicating months to segregating and separating ourselves apart from each other? I mean, why? Nah, never mind. That's an old-fashioned view. Why would we do that? The other thing I wanted to talk about today, actually, this is just I'm sick of the way things are video, really. So I did my taxes this last week, and come to find out, I owe the state that I live in $3,000, and I owe the federal government $1,000. Now, my wife last year changed her W-4 so that we actually claimed less people. And we didn't change our income. Nothing really changed for us. And now we owe $4,000 to various municipalities for taxes. I mean, because who doesn't have $4,000 they can just pull out of their butt to give the government? I mean, right? I mean, nothing changed for me. We didn't increase our income. Nothing got better. I mean, but now we have to pay in. I mean, we got all those stimulus checks. I'm thinking this is their way of stealing it back. Isn't that special?
I super hate you.
Anyway, I mean, seriously, how is that even possible that nothing changes for me in 1 year? The last year was actually a worse year for everybody, and I end up owing more money in taxes? Okay, somebody screwed up a math problem somewhere. It was probably me, because, I mean, it's not like the tax code's complicated or anything, right? It's only like 12,100 million pages of I don't know what. And you have to pay people to do your taxes because you as a human being trying to live and work and do other things couldn't possibly figure out the regulations. Why can't we just have taxes that we understand, taxes that make sense? Without all the deductions and restrictions, you just let me pay my taxes as the year goes along. And at the end of it, you don't give me any money back and you don't take any money away from me. I just am done. I just signed a thing saying, Brian did this thing and he's done. How about that? Wouldn't that be nice? But no, see, and it doesn't matter who's in the White House. It doesn't matter who's in control of Congress. Like they say, there's only two things certain: death and taxes. And taxes are worse than death. I think I'd take death. I'll take death, Alex, for 200. No, for 4,000. Actually, I'll take death over 4,000. Just why does it have to be? Why does our lives have to be this complicated menagerie of one stupid thing after another? If it's not taxes, it's they fired Gina Carano because she has a soul.
Because of what?
If it's not taxes or death, it's getting hit by a bus, or it's losing your job, or a fake plague being used to justify destroying the human race. I mean, what? I mean, this is how stupid this has got. My son and I actually work at the same place. Now, I'm a truck driver, so I only see him periodically. He works in one of the facilities that I actually take goods to and from. And I was standing on the dock picking up some stuff where from the facility where he works. And I walked back, and there was 4 people in the dock area, and they were talking to the forklift guys. And one of them handed me some papers so that I could hand back to the forklift guy. And then everybody turned around and walked off. Well, like the next Saturday, my son comes up to me and goes, "Hey, I saw you at work." And I said, "You did? I didn't see you." He's like, "Yeah, I handed you some papers, and you handed them to the forklift driver." I didn't recognize my own son because he works in a facility where he has to wear a hairnet. But what I didn't really see, because he had this stupid mask across his face. And that's right. I did not recognize my own son. Isn't that great? You know, the beer virus just keeps giving. And I felt terrible for that. But I mean, he had a hairnet on and this thing and like a work lab coat thing that they make him wear. And so, I mean, he didn't look anything like my son other than he was the same height. But I mean, it's like trying to tell who an Arab woman is, you know, by her eyes, because that's all you can see through the hijab and the whatever that thing's called, the big old body. Don't let anybody see or look at you because, you know, evil. I don't know. But that's where we're at. That's the life we live, where you can walk up to your own children and not know who they are. Isn't that just priceless? But we've got companies like Oreo cookies putting out tweets like "trans lives exist" or "trans exists."
That is literally the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Please, Wildstein, let me handle this. That idea is just the worst.
Where major corporations feel the need to get involved in crap that they have no business being involved in because it's a personal, private issue that doesn't really affect them. It's all about just being as woke as everybody else and trying to sell cookies. Well, you know what, Oreo? You can bite me. I'm not buying your cookies anymore because unless you get the double stuffed ones, they're not even worth eating. And my wife made homemade Oreo cookies. I was actually going to show you one of those today so you can see how much better my wife's homemade Oreo cookies are as opposed to the crappy things you buy in the store, because the ones she makes are soft and just... But I ate them all, so I can't show you. Well, me and my children ate them all, mostly me. But, I mean, this is the world we live in, where corporations are so in bed with the radicals and the psychos and the lunatics running the asylum for I don't know what reason. They think they're going to get more sales, or at least the Twitter mob won't attack them. I hate to break this to you guys. The Twitter mob hates you no matter what you tweet out. You're a corporation. You make money. They hate you.
How can you be deaf with ears like that?
And why you cozy up to the people who hate your guts, I don't understand that. But really, truthfully, you get what you deserve in the end. Nissan, Toyota, I don't know if Toyota did, but Nissan did. I mean, they had a Brie Larson commercial with Tower, and I mean, all these other companies like Apple and Google and all these companies that are supporting this garbage that's destroying our civilization. I hope you realize that when you destroy this civilization, there's not going to be anybody to support you. Like, nobody's going to use your services anymore because they'll be too busy fighting the dogs for food.
Darn, darn.
I don't understand. Have you guys never read history? I mean, pick up a book. Do some learning. You're supposedly college educated. How is it that I understand history better than all of these college educated morons? Oh, that's right, because they were taught lies and deceit. Like that teacher who got on the video the other day, Dean Cain and a couple other, Kevin Sorbo and a couple other people's retweeted it. She's on there clapping, going, "If you don't, please don't teach." And she's got these crazy eyes, like all psychotic antisocial, people who never are going to have anybody in their lives that really like them for who they are because they're stupidly, obsessively evil. And they all have these eyes like, if you da-na-na-na-na-na-na-na, and they sing songs. They use nursery rhymes for their, please, Lord, save us from Anyway, I just wanted to talk about these things because, we all think this stuff in our heads and we just go, please, Lord, make it stop. There was a poll that came out, and I think it was on Bill Maher's show, which Bill Maher is such a hot and cold character for me. He gets about 50% of everything right, and then 50% of everything just so wrong. I'm like, Bill, how can you be so right on some things? How can you see so clearly how bad PC culture is and cancel culture and all this nonsense? How can you see that so clearly? And yet, on the other side, you have all these beliefs that exactly lead into everything you just said was so awful. I don't get it. I don't understand how you can understand something so clearly and yet other things so not. But anyway, he had this poll on his show that that like 80% of everybody in the United States think that PC culture and our cancel culture and culture in general as it exists right now is awful. Is a problem that needs to be fixed. 80%. Now, that's 80% of, that includes Democrats, liberals, conservatives, Republicans. 80%, that's a lot of people. To that teacher who made that stupid video, don't teach. Please don't teach. You should not teach. If the only thing your kids are learning is your personal policy, political preferences, you are a horrible teacher. Now, I knew my teachers' political leanings and preferences, but you know what they didn't do? Because they'd say certain little things that I could get what they were, but they never taught me that. They taught me how to think, not what to think. Mr. Good, my high school history teacher, made me love history, and not one time did he ever fight against the patriarchy. Not one time did he ever twist history to make it a vehicle for his personal beliefs. Not once. He just taught history. And he made me love it because he was passionate about it. And you know what? He didn't have to be a liberal Democrat passionate about Black History Month and women power and stuff to have that passion. Somebody made that comment on that post the other day. Oh, I think this teacher's great because she's so passionate. Yeah, she's passionate about the wrong things. She's passionate about teaching people crap that she believes instead of teaching them English or math or history or whatever it is that she was supposed to be teaching while she was making stupid videos going, that's time that she didn't prepare a lesson. That's time that she could have been helping a kid to understand something. But if it wasn't clear enough from that video, my guess is she understands very little. Anyway, those are just a few of the things that have happened in the last few days that I felt the need to comment on because I'm going to go crazy. And you guys are my therapy session. I can tell you and you can go, oh, Brian, we're with you. We're with you. Or, yeah, Brian, you're nuts. Either way, comment on this video. Let me know what you think, and we will talk to you next time. Bye now.